Good evening. You're now with me, Radzi Ahmad, for TVS Nightline. We begin with this story. Sarawak Premier Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Joritun Openg today visited flood-affected areas in BINTULU and praised the level of preparedness shown by government agencies, which he says significantly reduces the impact on victims. Early preparations beginning in September last year, he says, allowed evacuation centers, food aid and medical assistance to be delivered in a more systematic manner as the state faces an unpredictable monsoon season.
Saya ingin ucapkan penghargaan dan terima kasih kepada jawatan kuasa bencana di bawah pimpinan yang berhormat Datuk Ahmad Douglas UGGAH dan juga pihak khidmatan awam sama ada negeri ataupun persekutuan yang telah bekerja begitu kuat untuk membantu bangsa-bangsa banjir dalam musim monsun ketika ini. Saya rasa bahawa persediaan dan perancangan yang lebih awal mulai daripada bulan September tahun lepas membolehkan kita mengatasi masalah-masalah yang timbul yang terkesan oleh banjir yang melanda kita.
According to the Premier, health remains a top priority, including cases involving victims suffering from asthma and stroke who are referred to hospitals and receive immediate treatment. In terms of welfare, he says food supplies remain sufficient, with victims receiving up to 5 meals a day, while most evacuation centers are already being closed as conditions gradually improve.
Hari ini kita telah menutup pusat 56 sudah tutup. 56, hanya yang aktif ialah 10. Pada mulanya 66. Sudah ada penurunan mangsa banjir dan air pula dia naik cepat, dia turun slow. Jadi itulah kita mengambil masa supaya apabila dia pulih semula, sudah tentu yang 10 ini akan kita tutup apabila mangsa sudah balik ke tempat masing-masing. Jumlah seluruh mangsa kali ini ialah 1,638. 1,638 the current one lah. Pada yang waktu mula 7,000. 7,465 dan sehingga hari ini kita hanya mempunyai 1,638.
Meanwhile, Abang Johari says repair works on roads and damaged infrastructure will not be carried out immediately to avoid repeated damage should another flood wave occur in February. Instead, the state government is setting up a state-level committee to formulate a long-term plan, including engineering studies, river management and drainage systems, particularly in rapidly developing areas such as BINTULU. Flood evacuation orders have been issued to protect lives, as the state government acknowledges residents' concerns over the safety of their homes and property. Deputy Premier Dato' Ahmad Douglas UGGAH says in several affected areas, rising floodwaters have submerged longhouses up to roof level, making it extremely dangerous for residents to remain.
Sebenarnya saya tidak ada membuat announcement begitu. Yang saya beritahu adalah semua yang terlibat, yang perlu pindah. Kena penting untuk mereka ini pindah, tujuannya adalah menyelamatkan nyawa mereka. Kalau kita nampak di bawah tadi, ada beberapa rumah panjang sampai bumbung. So kalau dia tidak pindah, that's why di Serian nanti there's one di Kuching, satu mangsa tidak mau pindah. We have to move them out. Jadi isu yang beri pampasan yang tidak berpindah itu memang kita timbang, tapi kita telah memberi beberapa syarat kepada pengurusi SDMC di peringkat bahagian. Tidak ada keadaan tertentu. Kalau dia perlu menjaga rumah panjang dia, 3 orang, itu kita boleh timbang.
Adding to that, UGGAH says the state government is not rigid in enforcing evacuation orders. However, he stresses that safety remains a top priority, with police instructed to closely monitor abandoned areas and homes to prevent theft or other threats. This approach aims to ensure victims evacuate with greater confidence without excessive concerns over the safety of their property.
The agro-based industry takes center stage in Kuching tonight as industry players and stakeholders gather for the 2026 Agro-Industry Gala Dinner. The event was officiated by State Food Industry, Commodity and Regional Development Minister Dato Sri Dr. Stephen Rundi Utom and highlights ongoing efforts to strengthen Sarawak's food security and agro-based industry ecosystem. Our reporter on the ground, Lorenzo Isaac, is there with the latest. Go ahead, Lorenzo.
Thank you, Razi. Tonight's dinner highlights a few key developments from the Ministry of Food Industry, Commodities and Regional Development, or MFI-CORD. The ministry is moving to refine its portfolio to focus more sharply on food and agro-industrial sectors, allowing for more strategic planning and effective implementation. Currently, MFI-CORD oversees a broad range of areas, including agriculture, land development, and rural development, which makes it a rather large and complex ministry to manage. To address this, the Minister, Dato Sri Dr. Stephen Rundi Utom, has indicated that the ministry may appoint up to 4 additional ministers to share responsibilities while keeping the civil service size unchanged. This approach is aimed at improving coordination, ensuring each sector receives the attention it needs and driving results across all areas of the ministry's mandate. In addition, the ministry also plans to establish a seasonal fruit management unit to better manage and market seasonal fruits such as durian, rambutan and dabai. The goal is to reduce wastage, maximize output and explore downstream opportunities, including processing into value-added products to reach broader markets. The ministry is also placing emphasis on innovation and technology such as mechanization and improved farming practices to strengthen the agro-industry, enhance productivity and ensure Sarawak's food production is sustainable and competitive. Overall, this initiative marked the start of a more focused and results-driven approach under the first year of the 13 Malaysia Plan, with MFI-CORD looking to optimize resources, support local farmers and grow Sarawak's agro-industrial sector. That is all the updates that I have for tonight's dinner. We get back to you in the studio. I'm Lorenzo Isaac, TVS.
A double homicide in Sarawak. Police are investigating the murder of a husband and wife found dead inside their home in Sri Aman early this morning. Both victims suffered severe injuries and were pronounced dead at the scene. Sarawak Police Commissioner Dato Muhammad Zainal Abdullah confirms they received a distress call at around 7 a.m. reporting 2 bodies discovered inside a house at Taman Mutiara in Sri Aman district. Officers from the Sri Aman Police Headquarters, along with medical personnel from Hospital Sri Aman, were immediately dispatched to the location. Authorities say the cause and possible motive of the attack is still under investigation and that no arrests have been made so far. The case is being investigated under Section 302 of the Penal Code for murder. Anyone with information are urged to come forward, and police stress that public cooperation is critical to solving the case and maintaining the community's safety. Social media posts identify the victim as a primary school headmaster and his wife, a nurse. The Sarawak Education Department has confirmed the death of the headmaster, identified as Andy Roy Junran, and has expressed condolences to his family. Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim wants immediate investigations to be conducted following a gas explosion at Help University that occurred on Monday. His statement on X says it is critical for the investigations to be done thoroughly to ensure the safety of all parties at the institution. He prayed for the recovery and strength of the victim, Ria Kaur Tandal, who is still undergoing treatment following the incident. He expressed his condolences to the family of the late Su Yu Juan, one of the students who passed away due to the explosion. Previously, media reported that 24-year-old Su passed away when he was receiving treatment at Kuala Lumpur Hospital. The other 9 victims are still being treated following the 11:40 a.m. incident. Su was a third-year student in the mechanical engineering field from University Tunku Abdul Rahman and was scheduled to finish his training as an intern this Thursday. Negotiations for the payment of 40% of revenue to the state of Sabah has begun, with a commitment to finalize the payment mechanism and other details within 180 days. Communication Minister Dato' Fahmi Fadzil says the cabinet has discussed on the implementation mechanism. All approval has been granted by the Secretary General following the meeting that was held within 90 days after a decision was reached by the High Court of Kota Kinabalu was published.
Jemaah Menteri telah diingatkan bahawa dalam tempoh 90 hari yang pertama, proses itu mesti dimulakan dan akhirnya dalam tempoh 180 hari, pembayaran, mekanisme dan beberapa perincian lain itu mesti dimuktamadkan, dipersetujui antara kerajaan negeri dan kerajaan persekutuan. Jadi tempoh masih ada lagi 90 hari.
More details on the matter will be announced by the Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Sabah and Sarawak Affairs, Dato' Mustafa Sakmud, at another time. On October 17, the Kota Kinabalu High Court ruled that the federal government is obliged to review and pay all demands by Sabah, including 40% revenue collected from Sabah. The presiding judge, Dato' Celestina Stuel Galid, ordered the federal government to review the rate of the special grant within 90 days and to reach an agreement on the payment within 180 days from the date the order was issued.
Singapore has opened applications for additional licenses to supply liquefied natural gas (LNG) as marine fuel in the port of Singapore, according to the Maritime and Port Authority. The move follows recent updates to Singapore's LNG bunkering licensing framework and standards, which now include sea-based LNG reloading and the supply of liquefied biomethane and e-methane, according to a statement. Now, both existing licensees and new entrants are eligible to apply. Licensees must implement complete LNG bunkering operations, including securing supply, planning demand, cargo transfers, storage, safe handling, and delivery of LNG fuel to vessels. To support shipping's decarbonization, applicants must submit plans demonstrating technical readiness to supply LNG fuels with lower life cycle greenhouse gas emissions, such as biomethane and e-methane. They must also outline measures to monitor and reduce methane slip from LNG bunker vessels. Now, Thailand was thrown into chaos after a construction crane collapsed onto a passenger train. The incident, which took place in the Sikyo district of Nakhon Ratchasima province, killed 31 people and injured 80 others. Transport Minister Pipat Ratchakit Prakarn says the train was carrying about 195 people, consisting of passengers and staff, and it was traveling from Bangkok to Ubon Ratchathani province. The crane was being used to build a high-speed rail bridge, and the impact of its collapse derailed the train compartments and a fire broke out in the wreckage. Rescue teams rushed to the scene and launched a rescue operation while dozens of injured people were moved to nearby hospitals. Police Colonel Tachapon Chinawong said that the search for more bodies was ongoing. A full investigation is currently underway. The crane was working on a high-speed rail project when it collapsed and hit the passing train, causing it to derail and briefly catch fire. Part of the collapsed crane is still propped up by the stanchions built to support the new rail link. And those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Razi Ahmad. Thank you for watching and have a good night.